Victory in sight for Andrew Holness. Third term is loading. The JLP is poised to win the elections. No quarters should be given now. No dropping the ball. It's winding down to JLP jubilee. It's a quarter to the hour and showa should stay in power. It is time to be on the alert. The PNP already knows what time it is, but they are desperate people without morals or integrity. There is nothing on this earth that is too low down for them to do. It is time to boost up the defense and then neutralize their next desperate move, for it is coming, guaranteed. They will keep coming at Andrew Holness until they find a lie that will hold some good traction, especially since the JLP is always giving them space to recover from the dead. And every time they rise, they return with more venom. They should not be allowed that grace anymore. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Skywalker with coffee in latte. Today, we are diving into a crucial topic that's impacting the political landscape in Jamaica. We are going to explore the importance of proactive communication, the power of propaganda, and how the Jamaica Labour Party can strengthen its position by effectively countering misinformation. So, let's get into it. Lately, there's been a lot of discussion about the JLP's current standing and the potential for securing a third term. According to the nationwide Blue Dot poll, the JLP is in a favorable position with nearly 52% of respondents believing the Holness administration deserves another term. But as we all know, politics is ever changing and the JLP must stay vigilant to maintain their lead. One of the key challenges the JLP faces is the spread of misinformation and propaganda by the People's National Party. We have seen instances where false narratives, like, for example, lies affecting the truth about the ownership of NSHP houses, have taken root simply because they weren't promptly and effectively countered, and even more so when high profile figures like Usain Bolt get involved or used to run fake rhetoric, the impact can be even more significant. So, what can the JLP do to combat this? Here are some strategies that I would suggest. One, proactive communication. The JLP needs to take a more proactive approach by consistently highlighting their achievements and future plans. This keeps the public informed and less susceptible to misinformation. I know they will point you to where you can get the information, but I believe that in the political game, you had better find the people that you need to inform. Don't expect them to go and do research. Make sure you give them as little chance as possible to miss what you said. Everyone hears everything that every high profile member of the PNP says. Think about that. Why don't we hardly hear what the leader of the JLP or his elite team members say? A comrade is always on the ground repeating the propaganda. Go to certain areas where the competition is tight and then nothing green is there to emphasize a thing. Going into this last lap, that should change. It's the last lap. Come on. Utilize social media influencers. Number two, utilize social media influencers. Engaging with popular social media influencers and bloggers who support the JLP can amplify their message and provide a more robust presence online. This the PNP does quite well, although thankfully their vloggers are not smart enough to appeal too much more than the same idiots that cannot read enough to know that when Mark Golding says that SHIT spells sugar, Andrew Thief bolts money, and 3 trillion missing, it is simply impossible. It is a turn off for educated folks to sit and listen someone tell them that his father's bull had a calf to its balls. Huh? Still, they don't have the intelligence to go to a higher level. So they are trying to win what they already have, the people on that level. This lack of PNP vlogger intelligence does work for the JLP, but there are many other dynamics to consider. It's not just as simple as that. There is no room for complacency. The JLP does not even seem to realize what the vloggers do for them, much less to engage them at a certain level. Check this out, for example. Had the JLP pro body or their PRO body engage vloggers with the tune they wanted typed when any of these propagandas were called, there would be a simultaneous swamping of social media to match the sound of their loud noise on the platforms. Like the sound of the loud noise that the PNP was making, if the JLP flaggers were engaged, it could be matched with the same equal force. You know, that way, when the NSHP rumors began, it would immediately be neutralized because you counteract with equal force or with reasonable force. Instead, too many people still tell me that they are disappointed with the government, and I have to keep telling them that the rumor isn't true. No matter how great your strategy is, complacency is still a negative factor, not to be accepted or tolerated. 3. Direct engagement. High ranking officials, including Andrew Holness, should more frequently engage directly with the public to address false narratives. This can be done through press conferences, interviews, and direct communication via social media platforms. It has to be done timely, right? It cannot come long after the story is set. The human mind doesn't work in that way. It doesn't easily erase a thing altogether after that thing was a new accepted reality to the person. You cannot erase the real essence of a myth, like Santa Claus, after you were already reacting to it as a reality. It must be debunked before it becomes culture. A byword, a word that is often repeated, a word that you can now use or depend on for power to prove a point for defense has become an important factor in your reality. Why would you expect it now to be a little thing to just cast off? Huh? Understand this. You wait until the word becomes the accepted reality, something they depend on before you decide you're going to debunk it. The JLP misses out a lot by not understanding how these things work and how much ground you can lose by these simple spells cast on you. Even if they finally agree that it was a rumor, what they already chose to think of you as a result of the rumor doesn't change by your simply dismissing the rumor as fake. If they started to dislike you because of the rumor, the day they cast off that rumor, the dislike does not automatically leave with it. Stop letting the demon culture cultivate the minds before you react. Okay? My people, what do you think? Should the JLP take a more aggressive approach in countering misinformation, or should they continue to let their successes speak for themselves? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Another crucial strategy is fact checking campaigns. Establishing a dedicated team to fact check and debunk misinformation can help maintain credibility and trust. This team can work to quickly address and correct false claims as they arise. And when these claims are debunked, the dissemination of the info must be blasted out on every channel from every platform. And if necessary, it should be repeated within a certain period. You have to know what is the necessary equal force of resistance, and you have to give or apply that amount of resistance to neutralize. I will say this, although it's hardly necessary because the JLP seems up to scratch on this part. Media training for JLP representatives can ensure they are well prepared for interviews, press conferences, and public appearances. This helps them effectively communicate their message and rebut false claims. It's also essential to focus on community outreach. Strengthening community outreach efforts can help build a loyal support base. PNP is good at that. This includes organizing town hall meetings, community events, and direct engagement with constituencies. They are bad on the ground. This is where the JLP seems so weak on the ground, out of sight, out of mind, and we don't want that number to play, do we? Do we? Ultimately, people, do you think community engagement is the key to maintaining public trust? How can the JLP improve their visibility in your area? Let me know in the comments. Do you feel them? You are always around. There's always the PNP presence no matter what. Everywhere you go. Do you feel the JLP? Huh? Ultimately, the JLP's ability to counter misinformation and effectively communicate their message will play a significant role in their future success. By adapting these strategies, they can strengthen their position and maintain their credibility. If they do this well enough, there will be no way back for the PNP, who is at the moment, even with Usain Bolt's name on their lips, running dead last and eating dust. The PNP should become the most legendary losers. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on important political and social issues. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged. Think on these things, my people. Peace out.